What on earth is he subjecting us to now? I am Couch Coop. This is my Abzu review, which came out in 2017. The whole thing has just got me thinking, and I'm doing some research. I say research, looking at Japanese cartoons for hours. For an upcoming Starfield No Man's Sky Elite Dangerous comparison video, I'm going into like old school sci-fi, trying to find out sort of the roots of that excitement, where it all came from. It got me looking at 70s and 60s and 80s Japanese cartoon intros. Why are these so good? Essentially, they display some of the flashiest animations in the whole seasonal series in this like crunched minute or so, and the cuts are just crazy. Also, it's a real band and real vocals. That 60s, 70s vibe, that amazing hand-drawn look, any pan shot, every frame's got to be drawn at that angle. That doesn't dawn on you as a kid. It's only as an adult you see how much work went into these. What the fuck has this got to do with Abzu? I'm trying to remember that magic over microtransaction feeling. It was there when I was younger with gaming. It is there now. You have to dig it out. That's the annoying thing. And I want to just talk about games that are underwater or in water. There's only a few of them, and I will timestamp this intro. Apologies. My little sister, I'm pretty sure she doesn't watch, got this on her Game Gear for Christmas, and I was like, whatever, girl game alert. Ended up putting about 100 hours into it. Also got sequeled on the PlayStation 2, which I had no idea about, and this is actually 3D, even third person, so to speak, with the dolphin. Also looks super weird, which is about normal for 2001.
For 500 years, dolphins and humans had lived together in unity, harmony, and fellowship.
Fellowship? This almost looks like a Manny precursor, with you doing tasks and sort of talking to other species, rescuing them. Let me guess, is the main enemy corporatism, maybe a nasty oil rig, something like that? It's really out of the box with this sort of stuff back then. So while I was looking at all this, I'm thinking how beautiful Abzu is compared to these older games, obviously, and also its original ideas. Oh, hang on. On the subject of couch co-op and local co-op, I know you guys are big fans. There was a game out there called Undertow, which still sits on my Game Pass screen for my Xbox Arcade subscription. Bought it, paid for it. It was really good. Can I play it on my PC? Can I F? Okay, let's talk about Giant Squid, and they have had a game out since Abzu, but prior to it, they came out with Journey. Journey was spectacular. I'm not going to show you any footage. It's been everywhere. It won awards. It was really the birth of this sort of passive, not walking simulator, but almost adventure, wrapped around a singular destination. And Abzu and Journey do have similarities on that front. It's not like a multiple choice open world game by any stretch. And Pathless, which is what we're looking at now, looks a little bit more open in that direction. I will get to it. That one's actually quite urgent because replaying Abzu has sort of sparked a light in me, hence that intro and the Japanese cartoon stuff. I'm very concerned that the industry, that we're moving into a section of game development that might entirely revolve around financial transactions, or even grinding for a goal that just gets moved in the next patch. That mindset steals passion. That's why I wanted to show you that intro with that awesome cartoon. This is Sea of Swords. This is the new one that's coming up next year, and I get a lot of old school vibes with this particular look. And that settles me on the conclusion that Giant Squid's ultimate motivation are to create awesome video games, and that shows in every single one of their titles, Abzu included. Just briefly this morning, also, over my Eggs Benedict, I was reading an article about another GTA 6 leak that's coming out at the end of the year, right? Guess who it's from? Yes, Jason Schreier. How has one man become the conduit for every single video game news story break? It doesn't make sense. Something is up. And it was only the other day I was thinking, I bet that Jason's having some expensive lunch with some exec from somewhere that's going to drop him a scoop. This doesn't smell right, this Schreier setup. It's been going on for years. The journalist landscape needs to be broader for video game news and scoops. Jason's probably got a team of researchers with Glaswegian accents going through the bins at Rockstar. What have you got, Coop? Yeah, I rest my case. The reason I'm so visceral about this is because I used to work in the news distribution business, and if you would have flipped the verticals, let's say the finance industry, and it was one bottleneck and it was an individual, you'd be concerned. So I think this needs more looking into. Please don't sue me, Jason. Jesus Christ, mate, where's the Abzu review? We've had Japanese 70s cartoons, microtransactions, Jason Schreier and SSX Tricky. Can we get on with this? Abzu on the PlayStation 5 runs at 1350p and pegged 40 frames per second, which, lo and behold, is identical to the PlayStation 4 Pro, I might add, version. Actually, I think we get 10 more frames. But my point being is this doesn't sit on the SSD. Doesn't really need to. In 2017 it was stunning, and to this very day it's still a jaw dropper. The lighting, the way it introduces arenas and areas to you, and that whole 360 degree control method is so refreshing even now. I remember playing this and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture at the same time, and at the back of my mind I was thinking, gaming's going to a really cool place. It's turning into storytelling, great visuals, music, high production, concepts that are really massive. I don't know if you've played the Rapture game, but it just deals with an apocalyptic religious nightmare. The whole thing is extremely cerebral, and I'm just annoyed I don't see enough of this game substance around at the moment. Fortnite, I'm looking right at you, you complete bimbo. The game gives you an unbelievable amount of stripped down controls, right? It's literally 2 buttons at the start. There's no options menu, performance tab, have a look at the HDR, nothing. It is like minimalism on a game design level, and it's very noticeable, and it just totally works with the subject matter. One of the initial things that would put me off with a game like this is, as someone who enjoys stuff like Rage 2 or even a Dark Souls game, the jump to this tranquility can sometimes feel a little bit jarring. But with this, it's welcome because of its rich story and ideas that it's putting in front of you. This is not just swimming around in ponds. There's all kinds of weird tech going on. You've got a backstory, and you're doing a Kami style rejuvenation of a lot of map locations you come across. It's also really grounded with its sea life representation and identification. There's a cool thing where you can swim with stuff. You can L2 and ride alongside a giant Goliath groper. No one says that. Fear is in here. Not enough of it as far as I'm concerned. And I really wanted the opportunities with this game to be explored more in the directions of running away from giant sharks, hiding in little caves that they can't get in, even having a gun. But I know that would ruin some of its vibe, and that's what I want to talk about. It grabbed me so tightly on a sort of level interlink front, I couldn't put it down. There's about 6 to 7 hours in this game, like straight playthrough. If you want to find all the little cool things, there's stuff on the ground that spawns different fish into areas, there's accolades in secret caves if you want to take the time to explore, but it's the spectacle of this front end that will pull you straight in and think, I'm not going to put this game down until it's finished. Having a legitimate high production orchestra behind your gameplay is absolutely empowering, and it gives everything this movement. You don't really see that in a lot of modern games. Kojima will often do it, and you still see a lot of it in Nintendo games. It's something that must not get lost. I don't know if you've played Need for Speed Unbound. This section here is one of the more open areas that you're introduced to early on, those pinks on the ground, and getting to ride the dolphins out of the water. It's kind of a wow moment for people who haven't played the game before, and it's certainly sort of put the hairs on the back of my neck up because it's been that long since I've played this game 6 years, I think, and it did feature on the channel. I just have never fired it up since. So all of this nostalgia, all of this great art and feeling was buried within the depths of Abzu. I did not realise you can push circle and do a somersault, including out of the water, in my first playthrough. Got an achievement for that, thank you. Back to that, I need guns, butchery and monsters to enjoy a video game. That aspect, combined with this being a potential puzzler only, you'd think it would just put anybody of that vein off, but it sucks you in with the puzzles not being that stone turning. It gives you a cool idea of where you need to go. There's no clicking a button and you get an immediate path, so you end up exploring these big arenas, finding different species to unleash, and also riding around on some crazy ass shit. I've just noticed that this is released on PC and Windows and Switch. I was about to go on a Sony exclusive brand. It got me thinking, I wonder what specs this runs at on PC, and we should really have 60 frames per second and 4K over on the Sony side by now. And imagine ray tracing with these visuals. A remake or a current gen remaster definitely needs to be made of this. They should also do Journey as well. I don't understand why they're sitting on those IPs. Can you die in this game? Not technically. And what I also have to be careful of is showing you guys spoiler territory. This has got one of the best gaming moments I've ever had with an indie title in it. You'll know the one I'm talking about. It's got something to do with the name of the developer, but the stuff you see, the depths you go to, the directions the story take, again, dialogueless. The cutscenes are a joy. You don't have to keep clicking through someone moaning about something you're not interested in. That's enough about the channel. But my point being, showing stuff off, showing this game's beauty and spectacular scenes are technically spoilers, and I made the mistake of doing that on the reviews prior to getting. I was like, oh, I've seen this bit. I don't really want anybody who hasn't played this to get that feeling. This is enjoyment on a ground level with what video games are all about, and it's really pure art in my eyes. AAA games need to start going back in this direction, I feel, and it's only indie gaming where you see these concepts still alive, and that's wrong. And I am Couch Coot, and I'm going to go and meet Jason Schreier for lunch. See you down there.